Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Beckta Meal Kit number 18 for the week of September 22nd to 26th. As the weather's getting a little colder, we wanted to warm you up with something delicious. Tonight we've got an awesome menu. So mushroom and pecorino arancini, and it's done with a little radicchio and almond salad. Local Perth pork porchetta, and that's done with some roasted baby potatoes, rapini, pickled beets, salsa verde, and then a gorgeous apple tart. So I've jumped ahead a little bit because I want to compress the video down, and the porchetta has been in the oven for a couple minutes. And now we're going to start rolling on the arancini so that we can show you everything in a short period of time. First up, let's get the stove rolling. Thankfully, I've got an induction and it goes pretty fast. So we want some olive oil in the pan, a generous amount, and just recognize that we're going to need some butter for later as well that I forgot to take out. This is really live filming here. So arancini typically are little balls, but tonight it's going to be a little bit different because we assume that you all don't have a deep fryer at home, so we want you to be able to do it beautifully and get that really nice crisp outside without having to submerge this all in deep fryer oil. So we'll warm that up, and actually, you know what? We're going to cheat and put this on the gas stove, which will go faster, and then we'll get back to that in a minute. Put this down so it doesn't burn, because we're also going to saute our veg for our main course at the same time. Again, generous amount of olive oil for all of your veg. So while the pan is heating up, we've got a radicchio. We're going to throw our almonds in here, and we have a pickled garlic scape aioli, which is going to be on the base, but we have a beautiful vinaigrette that's going to dress the radicchio. Now, there is a good amount of seasoning in there, but feel free to add a little extra. Radicchio is a pretty bitter component, and that's on purpose because we've got the sweetness that comes with frying anything, and we want some bitterness and some saltiness to balance that off, and that's why we're going to add a little extra salt. And the crunchy almond stuff in there is really nice. Okay, so our pan is almost warm enough. Get those over there, and we are going to go ahead and start working on our veg as well, because they're going to take about the same amount of time. And while our pan's getting hot, I want to talk about the white wine that's going with the appetizers tonight. I'm a huge fan of Gruner Veltliner from Austria. This particular one is a Sept Moser from the Kremstal region of Austria. And this is the Moser family, is one of Austria's viticulture dynasties. This is from our wine director, Connor. Today's estate in 1987 with vineyards in the Austrian wine growing regions of Kremstal and Neuschleder. I'm totally bastardized this. I apologize to all of the German speakers out there. Fuller body with lots of extract and a peppery spiciness, and this is a key to Gruner Veltliner. Is that really nice white pepper spice. Okay, now that the oil is smoking a little bit, we are going to throw the arancini in there. And again, they're flat in order to be able to get you a nice crispiness without having to deep fry them at home. Okay, this guy is good. So potatoes go in first. So we blanch the potatoes for you so we don't have to cook them from scratch. Make sure I get them all in there. And the rapini and the beets are going to go in next. Okay. And we actually have a hot dessert tonight as well. So all three courses are warm for the first time ever, which makes my job a little more interesting because I have to multitask. So let's see, arancini starting to get a little brown already. Guess that cast iron pan is nice and hot. Move that. These guys get a little of that. All right, so aioli is going to go on our plates. Now, pickled garlic scape aioli. So we buy as many garlic scapes as we can get our hands on in the springtime and early summer. And they're basically the top of a garlic plant. So you can do one of two things with garlic when it sprouts up. You can dive it back into the ground, and then it grows more garlic. Or you can cut the tops off, and they're intensely garlicky, and they're very spicy. So you have to pickle them and mellow them out, but they give such a nice freshness, especially in the fall and winter when you want a little bit of that green garlic kind of flavoring. Okay, the arancini's looking good. Got this guy all done up. Now, I should read my instructions because it did say throw some butter in the pan. And that's just going to get it a little more golden brown. And while this is happening, I would say that we're probably about 5 minutes out. So we got these gorgeous apple tarts. Went for square this week for a little variety. And those are going in the oven, 375. Porchetta's smelling great. Let's see what the chef is talking to us about. 7-8 minutes for the potatoes. And then we're going to add some more butter, so I'm glad I left that out. And then we're going to add the rapini and the pickled beets to the pan. Again, we take all of, we had Kat, one of our cooks today, who focuses on Curated by Beckta, and she was pickling all these beets today. And thankfully she wore a rag because the red can just stay in your hands for days. I actually made this huge batch of brodo yesterday, which is this lovely bone broth stuff, and for friends of mine. And my fingers are still yellow, as is my knife from the turmeric. So it's important to wear gloves or do something like the rag in order to keep it going. Okay, so that's going well. That thing always beeps. I've been happy with the induction range that we got recently when our old electric one died, except for the beeping that it does. So I'm going to move this over to my gas part. And now the arancinis will go on the plate. There we are. Always trying to figure out which one is most Instagram worthy. Now when I do this, I don't have to get too many beeps. Okay, so let me make sure I didn't miss anything on the radicchio salad. Got all that? Yes, beautiful. Very nice. And some of those almonds on top. You know, I'm always a sucker for green things. And while we have the pickled garlic scapes in there, I want a little bit of green on top. So let's see what we've got. I know Chef Rich is always a big fan of dill. So I'm going to ad lib here with a little dill that I had in my fridge. Maybe by the time you watch this video, we will have added some dill in order to pretty up your plates. And that's part of the reason why I do these things on Monday nights, is to give some feedback to the chefs and see, hey, did we miss anything? Always clean up your plates really nicely. All right. Oops. My potatoes need a little saucing. Okay, so there is our arancini with the radicchio and almond salad and the garlic scape aioli. All right, so I think we're at the time where we're going to be throwing our butter in. Almost forgot our butter. I'm a big fan of butter. Don't tell my wife I put this much in. She prefers olive oil, but it has such a luxurious feeling when you use butter in order to finish a dish. And we had all of these plastic bags that we got for a little truffled popcorn promotion in our neighborhood about a year ago. And so we decided we would use them today in order to keep the beautiful beet stain color off of the rest of the things, because if we pack these with the rest of the veg, everything would be red by the time it got to your house. And that's no fun. And this one, we're definitely going to need to season generously with salt and pepper. Because again, rapini, just like the arugula, or sorry, just like the radicchio, is quite bitter. So lots of salt on there and a little bit of pepper. That's looking great. I'm going to turn that down a bit. And I bet you our apple tart is looking good. So we're going to plate this up while this is being finished. I love this. The red beets are just staining the potatoes just a little bit. All right. So main courses aside, desserts coming in. Yeah, see, there is my oven that doesn't like other things on it. Just going to use my hands on this guy. I finally brought home some extra plates from Beckta because mine were getting a little beat up. And you know, when you have awesome Instagram shots, you need awesome plates to go with it. So that's what we did. I put the chantilly in the fridge until the last minute because you don't want it to fall. We want it to be nice and fluffy. And then the caramel sauce is going to go over top of that. I hope I left it out long enough. So if you're watching this video before you cook your meal, make sure to take the caramel sauce out, let it rest. Oh yeah, that's nice. And then the chantilly, keep it in the fridge until we're ready to go. Okay. Oh man, I'm so happy that I got these bowls. They look beautiful. And tonight in the audience, I actually have a couple of our staff members because they're with me learning some extra special stuff of video production. And Amanda is one of them that does our social media for a lot of our restaurants, but her home base is Play. So I'm going to ask her to actually take some photos of this stuff for Instagram after I'm done. Actually, this one's a little bit better. So there's our apple tart with the chantilly and the caramel sauce. So I'm going to go off camera for a second. Amanda, here's for some photos. Amazing, thank you. And then porchetta next. All right. And while I'm plating this guy, so first of all, we need the veg going down. Always get the tongs that aren't going to mess up your nonstick pan. So do potatoes first, and some rapini poking out the side. Gorgeous beets, some color. Yeah, I'm definitely glad that we went with the extra beets. And by the way, guys, while I'm finishing up, please send us your feedback. Tell us what you like. Tell us what could be better for your meal kits. We always love to learn about your thoughts on the meals. We've had such great dialogue with people, and you know, when we're not able to serve a lot of people in the restaurants with our seating capacity limited, or people are dining at home more, we absolutely love hearing from you and getting that feedback that we otherwise wouldn't get because we're not seeing you in person. All right, there we go. Porchetta is up next. Oven's off. Last time I forgot to turn that off, and you know, 4 hours later, oh, the oven's still on. Okay, so porchetta, in case you're wondering, is the cut is pork belly, which is my favorite cut on a pork. And so it's done as a roulade, so rolled, but it is stuffed and seasoned with rosemary, garlic, chili flakes, black pepper, orange zest, and fennel. Spoke to our chefs today to make sure I got that right. I'll move this around a little bit. You know what? Got to get the rapini out because beautiful. Excuse my hands. It's just my family that's going to be eating this, so get that set up because we definitely want the beauty of this. A little bit of salsa verde on top. I always try to guess which one is going to be the better Instagram one. We're going to see. Ironically, that one might be, which was not my first instinct. All right. There we go. So this is our roasted porchetta, Perth pork done with the salsa verde, the pickled beets, rapini, and roasted mushrooms. And the red wine for it tonight is this beautiful Sicilian red, full-bodied, earthy, vibrant, just bang. And it's going to go so beautifully with this nice rustic dish. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for ordering. Thanks for all of your support. And we hope to see you again very soon. And we hope to cook and curate for you again very soon, too.